So we're here at World Time Attack at City Motorsport Park, and always I'm looking for the weird and wonderful.
Yes.
You know,
You've come to the right spot.
We have this
ugly duckling.
I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah. Well, it's a joke car that's gotten out of hand, extremely out of hand. I had a few too many beers, and I know a few mates that know how to weld and know how to put things together, and then voila, we've got this interesting mix.
What is this?
So it's a 96 Nissan Micra K11. Bought it for $500. And yeah, once again, it was a bit of a joke, but then we were like, let's make this thing go quick.
$500?
$500, yeah.
Australian dollars?
Yeah, 100%, yep. It didn't work, and a mate had it, and he's like, do you want it? Sure, I took it. And then, yeah, it's turned into this bit of a wild beast.
What do you mean by it didn't work? So the engine was
had a standard EG13 motor in it, but the only problem was, well, my mate who owned it didn't know what the problem was, and it was actually just a fuel pump. So put a new fuel pump in it, and then as things happen, you start spiraling out of control. Done a few track days, and I was like, this is quite quick. So then one thing led to another, turbocharged the factory motor and got bigger and bigger.
When you say quite quick, the
car's
factory motor,
yeah.
How much power did it make?
It's 60 horsepower at the wheels, yeah.
60 horsepower
Yeah.
at 1.3 liter
1.3.
of Fury.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was an absolute powerhouse. But yeah.
But with that said, 60 horsepower, this thing is very lightweight too.
Yeah, so 770 is what we've weighed it out. So yeah, it's very, very light, and that's with the SR20 in it, yeah. So,
okay, so yeah, now that you've given up the secret, let's check out the motor.
All right, let's have a sticky beat.
So now it has an SR20.
Yeah.
What is this out of?
So this is out of a Primera from Japan. I actually bought this from a guy that got it from the States, believe it or not, and then he brought it from the States and then brought it back to here. So it's gone Japan, States, then here. And then we've got a new gearbox going in it. It's yet to go in. That's the old gearbox, but we've got a new one coming, and that one is also coming from New Zealand, because you can't get any parts for these things. But yeah, it's a bit of a weapon at the moment.
So Primera, why out of that?
Because they came with the P12 SR20 Neo. So this particular engine, I just actually like the style and the look of this. There is different types of Nissan VTEC as such. But yeah, this is what I went with. I was lucky enough to have the right place at the right time sort of scenario come up, and then this is where we're at, yeah.
Could you have used like a Pulsar variant then?
Yeah, the old motor was a SR20, so essentially this whole front half of the vehicle is a Pulsar. We've actually had to machine the factory knuckles and stuff and everything to fit all the Pulsar gear in it, yeah.
You mean the front suspension?
Correct, yeah, and CVs and everything, yeah.
In order to run this?
To run this. I've done billet CVs in it, and then the wheel bearings and everything were suited for the Micra, and then we come on to boost and just snap CV shafts in half, so.
But because the Pulsar is all-wheel drive.
So the GTIR, so I've seen a few of your videos in the past, seen you go on that crazy all-wheel drive one.
Yeah.
The GTIRs are all-wheel drive, and then every other Pulsar is front-wheel drive, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there you go.
Okay, so then how much power does this make now?
So yet to be proper ran, but we're looking around that 550 mark. The old setup that wasn't the VVL setup, that made 350, but it still had heaps in it. It was just me trying to grow a set and then trying to manhandle it. But then as I raced it over the seasons, I got very used to it. So then now we need a gearbox that can keep up with the motor, so on and so forth, and then we're here.
550.
Yeah, 550.
And that's to the wheels.
Yeah, to the wheels. That's not to, the flywheel or anything, that's to the wheels, yeah. So it's a bit of a...
This has got to be so scary to drive.
Yes. Yeah, I'm careful who I give the keys to, let's just say that. So yeah.
How does it even stay in a straight line? Or torque steer, how does it turn? That's the question.
It turns good, but you need to know how to balance it. It's very much a fine line. It's like skating on ice, this thing, for sure.
So then what are we looking at here? So you couldn't put a whole front radiator setup
Yes,
here
so-
because there's just no room.
In the rules for what we were doing, we couldn't do tube front or anything like that. So we had to get a Civic radiator. Everything is done on the cheap. So this is just an eBay Civic radiator and cocked at, a slight angle. And then my fab guy, Joel from CDI Motorsport, basically recessed it all down, made it all fit. And believe it or not, it's actually cooling extremely well.
It actually looks like it's not that bad in terms of airflow.
Yep.
But I'm surprised that this is big enough to cool down how much power you're making.
Yeah, well, Real Thermo, this company here, actually it's been astronomical, the changes that's made with heat management. Well, I was having extreme heat issues with obviously the exhaust manifold and then the coolant pipe going straight across the top, but that made a massive difference. So yeah.
Big turbo's just right there in the front.
3071R. So rather large, we actually are going bigger because the Neos do flow a lot more.
Intercooler up front here.
Yeah, cooler at the front, bits of aluminium sitting down there to hold the splitter all together, but yeah, it's all just cheap fun, honestly.
Amazing. Do you know off the top of your head how much you've put into it about now?
I had a quick run over the other day because the Wi-Fi asked the question. I reckon as it sits now, with including buying the car, it's probably about $20,000. So yeah, I've actually done it extremely cheap.
And then what do you think you could run here at City Motorsport Park?
I don't know, that's the question. I've seen a few guys out here who I race with down or in the Sunshine Coast and Queensland. I personally think it could do like a 145 in a club sprint, but I don't know, hopefully we'll find out one day. So yeah.
So then this is actually street registered still?
Street registered, still street legal, so these are all modification plates in Queensland. Yeah, we're also on the fine line there, so if any police are looking, it's all 100% legal. It's all stock. We've even got the stock emissions chart here if you want to double check.
So then, what about the paint? Did you?
Yeah, 50 Shades of Red. It's what we like to call it.
Rattle can it?
So it's had a hard life. We've popped it into a few tyre barriers. It's had an extremely hard life. You can actually see it's been green, it's been grey, it's been every colour under the sun. So yes, this has all been quick lick, nothing fancy, just a quick spray in the shed, and then we just send it out on its run again.
So let's talk
He's a
about,
rattle can though.
Yeah, let's talk about the body.
Yes.
So then, did you just make this out of like a piece
Yeah,
of?
so these are actually from an N2 Cup car over in Japan. These are extremely, extremely rare. Same with the cage, all from N2 Cup cars of like the 95, 96 era.
Because they actually raced this.
Yeah. So they had like Micra Cups or March Cup. So this is almost a replica of that.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, but we've gone a little bit over the top with everything else.
What about this?
So this is from a guy over in the UK. I just like the design of it. Eden at Gizfab, he makes that, but he's got a Nissan Micra as well. Doing the same thing, it's just him and I just sort of battling out for the Micra record.
I can't believe 20,000 Australian dollars to get
honestly,
to this point.
That's even a stretch at that. So like, it's probably under. So yeah, everything is done on the cheap, like no crazy rims, like, because we put it into gravel traps, cheaper brakes, but it does exactly what it's meant to do.
You couldn't fit a bigger wheel and tire combo on this.
No, that's very much at its limit. Yeah, so these came out with a 13-inch, 1x4.5, and yeah, now running a 225. We were actually previously running a 245 40, but we've gone a higher profile just for better gear ratio because we're running out of gear at some tracks. So yeah, cheap mod, go for a bigger wheel.
Then, so two questions. How did you fit these brakes on here?
Bit of hopes, more dreams than hopes, but yeah, we actually hit up Seeker and then they said they had a kit and then they sent me out the biggest possible kit they could get and it was a straight bolt up. It's the only thing on this whole car that's a bolt up. Everything else is all custom, like literally every single thing. So.
And then when you say you're running out of gearing, what gearbox does it have?
So it has a Pulsar gearbox and we're getting to the top of like 5th gear and once it starts getting grip, it's still spinning sometimes at, sometimes 200K. Once it gets grip, it's sort of running out around the 235 240 mark. Yeah, so we were like, we need to go a bigger tyre just to get that a little bit more. And also I can use third gear and fourth gear a little bit more. So yeah.
Oh, okay. That's over 100 mile an hour. Or that's like 120.
Yeah.
And it's still spinning?
Yeah, still spinning, yeah. So we do some Mexico trips, as you guys call it, and we've done a few trips at night, and yeah, we've 180 and it's still spinning in fourth, yeah. So
can we take a look at the inside?
there's not much in here.
So our friend Garrett got to this already and signed it.
Yeah, well, I actually got a sticker from, I'm just a huge fan of Garrett, so I was like, I got to slap that on there. But yeah, this is the office. There's not much really to it. It's we normally have a seat in there, but we just took it out for ease to get things in and out of at the moment. But yeah, it's very, very simple in here.
IRP shifter.
Yes. Soon to change because of the new gearbox is actually going to be cable. It's not going to be like a linkage. But yeah, this is a very, very, very good setup. Love it. It's very, 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 very nice.
Haltech dash.
Haltech dash, IC7, pretty much everything. Haltech.
You still have a radio?
Yeah, still got radio, still got speakers, still a street car. So I still need to listen to music over the fuel pumps. They're rather loud, but yes, yeah, it's still very much a street car. Sometimes, honestly, I take my little one for a drive in it, loves it. So yeah, it's good fun.
You still have a dome light too.
Still have a dome? Yeah. I don't know how, actually.
Yeah, it still works.
GoPro mount
I love
on
the
there.
GoPro mount on there.
Yeah.
I just love the ingenuity, and I love that this was built on such a budget.
Such a budget,
and
yeah.
It's so fast.
Yeah,
because it's just a combination of cheap horsepower and lightweight and cheap chassis.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I just wanted to honestly upset people with money. That was my goal.
So then how did you get the cage?
So the cages were allowed to be mod plated and authorized. So my friend actually bought the car, put the cage in, got it mod plated. 1 week later, it became illegal, so you couldn't mod plate it. So the whole reason why I bought the car, it had a cage in it, and then that's how it spiraled, yeah. So because it had a cage in it, it went to this level. If it didn't, I probably wouldn't have done it, to be honest.
Got grandfathered in.
Yeah,
Lucky you.
yeah. It's something you would see your grandpa or grandma drive to church on a Sunday sort of thing.
Amazing. What a cool build. What a cool story.
Appreciate it.
I knew something was special with it when I saw it parked here last night.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know yet.
Yeah, if you don't, it's one of those things. Not many people know what they're looking at, and I've actually had a few Japanese competitors here look at it, and they know what they're looking at, and they're like, oh, this is different. But yeah, especially for you guys over in the States, it's very, very rare to see.
Look at this. Still glass.
Still glass. Yeah, still got glass.
All this stuff still works.
Everything works. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me about this. What is this?
So we got a switch. It's very basic. So you got fast, and then you got your O switch. So it just doubles the power essentially. So we've got like a street tune in it, and then we've got a send it to the moon tune.
Look at this forethought that you put into this.
All quality here, mate.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, just masking tape.
Yes, and a bit of a Bic pen that we found on the floor, and then away we go.
I love that. It's fast, and then this is like almost undrivable.
Yeah, that's quite literally it. And it all came from one of my friends who was in the passenger seat, and we did a power run, and he's like, no, you need to change this. You need a switch in here that says, oh, I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So yeah, it's stuck. I just keep refreshing it every time it falls off to write it back down.
So good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to LarryChenPrints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.